All right, guys, how's it going? So, as you can see, I'm in a different environment. I'm not in my working environment. I've got like fluffy pillows and things because I'm in England. That's right. I'm not in Spain at the moment. I'm here until Friday, but you know me, always committed to the cause. So here I am. So yesterday we did a live stream, and on that live stream there was quite a few questions about claims relating to Trent Alexander-Arnold and wanting to leave Liverpool. And we had a little look into where these reports were, coming from, and we had a little look to see if it was, anything that we should pay attention to, kind of thing. But if you follow my channel, you will know that yesterday I was out for a meal last night. It's my cousin's birthday, so I didn't get an opportunity to address these things. So I want to do that now. Now, when this was brought to my attention, I said, "Where have you read that?" Because people come in sometimes into the chat and they'll say, "Is this about Trent Alexander-Arnold true?" When it's like, hang on a minute, what is it? Because what did you read? We can't answer that unless we know exactly what you mean. And it was, he wants to leave Liverpool, Real Madrid, blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, tell me which article you read and let's go and take a look at it. And it was actually Team Talk. You don't pay attention to anything on Team Talk, guys, all right? You don't. Back in the day, in the 90s, we used to be at war with Team Talk. There wasn't many websites around then, and it was Cop Talk versus Team Talk. And some of you will remember Brian Bentley was the Liverpool editor, BB. He used to sign his emails, do you remember, or his comments on the website? Because people used to be able to email in and he used to reply to them. Brian Bentley, and we used to have a bit of like banter, like, I don't know, what would you call it? Fucking vlog wars or something, I don't know, blog wars. So yeah, Team Talk, but it's a massive, massive, massive organisation in terms of revenue, and this is why it exists, okay? So Team Talk purely exists for revenue. There's no doubt about that, and they're not going to lie about that. So you've just got to be careful, right, okay? And so the headline that they ran was as follows: Alexander-Arnold wants to leave Liverpool as Real Madrid swap deals sensationally talked up. First of all, there was a claim to do with a swap deal, but it hasn't been sensationally talked up. No one's talked it up whatsoever. So they're just trying to lure you in with the headline. Now, I'm not going to read this article to you because it's exceptionally long. And to be honest with you, it's just a lot of drivel. He's a boyhood Liverpool fan. Alexander-Arnold and Andy Robertson have revolutionised the fullback position. So there's absolutely nothing for them to say about the claims that they're making. So they've got to make the article longer, otherwise it would be one paragraph, right? Because it would just be one paragraph saying reports say this. Do you understand? So they've got to fill chapter, paragraph of a load of dribble to make the article look like a genuine article, okay? For example, the first few paragraphs there is a boyhood Liverpool fan. Next paragraph, him and Robertson have revolutionised this, that and the other. Next paragraph, indeed, Alexander-Arnold's record for Liverpool stands at. This isn't all nothing to do with the news article, right? We all know who the fuck he is, right? So let's skip to the important bits. So, but according to sensational reports, there's nothing sensational about them, emerging from Spain, a country in which I live, so that helps me because I know where to look and I know a bit more about the Spanish media maybe than some people that commentate on Liverpool. Sensational reports emerging from Spain. The playmaker wants to leave and has snubbed numerous attempts from Liverpool to discuss fresh terms. That's not true. Nobody whatsoever within the club, associated to the club, any credible journalist has ever made such a claim. There's no whispers, no rumours, no gossip to suggest that he's rejected contract talks with Liverpool. Okay? Real Madrid are in need of a new right back, blah, blah, blah. Now, the latest reports, right, from Spain, this was yesterday, claim that Alexander-Arnold could go in the opposite direction to Madrid forward Rodrigo, who Liverpool are been linked with. It says here he's facing an uncertain future, is Rodrigo. The fans there prefer other players ahead of him. The president there has said, no one's safe basically at this club. Do you know what I mean? If you're not happy here, we'll sell you and blah, blah, blah. So it's not looking very good for him. in terms of a long-term future there. Obviously, they've just got Kylian Mbappe as well, blah, blah, blah. Rodrigo, it goes on to tell you now all about Rodrigo, right? You know what I mean? Again, filling the article out. So, the suggestion is, by the Spanish media, which we'll get to in a minute, and then we'll decide if we should pay attention, is that Real Madrid want Trent Alexander-Arnold and Liverpool want Rodrigo. And they might do a swap or something like that, right? So, we'll get to the final paragraph, okay? And it says, Team Talk has not yet been able to verify whether Alexander-Arnold is pushing to leave Liverpool, and given the nature of the source, we must wait for more reliable outlets to issue their own updates before discovering whether the fullback could truly end up playing for Madrid next term. So in other words, they've wrote this really long article, right? And I'm scrolling this fast. And then the last paragraph, having gone through all that blurb, is that, well, we've not been able to verify whether there's any truth in it. We should really wait to see. So it's just complete nonsense. It's just to generate revenue, right? But you know that, right? Anyway, now, as far as I'm aware, inside this article, they do not mention anywhere who the source is, because I remember going over this yesterday. According to reports, according to sensational reports, these latest reports, the only connection we've got is Spain. So they're not even telling you who's making these claims, and you've got to be exceptionally careful with this, guys. If you ever see any fan account, any media, mainstream media, anyone ever saying, according to reports claim, reports originating from Italy, you have to call them fuckers out and go, well, oh, because it's very easy for an ITK, for example, to say, oh yeah, the report's in wherever, because you're not going to have time to look, you're just taking it that's truthful, right? So often when you see people say reports, they don't exist, right? So I did a bit of digging, and I did check a few articles out regarding this, and I'm trying to keep this video as short as possible. You know what I'm like. So the original report came from a publication called El Nacional in Catalonia, right? Exceptionally close to Barcelona, not Real Madrid. And if anything, they would want to make life difficult for Real Madrid or do a bit of shit stirring, all right? So bear that in mind. It doesn't mean that's what's happening here, but it's El Nacional, right? It's Catalonia, it's Barcelona, right? So if you remember last, I think it was November, El Nacional, I'm sure it was El Nacional, I'm 99% certain. I think it was them, El Nacional, ran the Klopp looking at leaving Liverpool stuff way before it came out, before it was announced to us at Liverpool, right? Liverpool fans or whatever. And how would they know that? Because they're really close to Barcelona, and Barcelona was seeing if Klopp would be interested in going there. So the agent, in my opinion at the time, if you think back, would have said, well, he's looking at leaving Liverpool and taking time out. And that's how I think that claim got out into El Nacional from Barcelona, right? So what I'm trying to say here is they're close to Barcelona, not Real Madrid. So just be cautious of that. So this is translated. I don't speak, Catalonian or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? This is translated, and trust me, that region of Spain is, well, they don't even consider it Spain. So I can do Spanish, but Catalonian or Valenciana or anything like that. Liverpool propose a change to Real Madrid by Rodrigo. Liverpool do not give up and will try again for the signing of Rodrigo. Liverpool intend to take advantage of the doubts that Rodrigo has with his continuity at Real Madrid. The Brazilian disaster, they're calling him. Remember, this is Barcelona affiliated outlet, if you like. The Brazilian disaster surprised with the statements he made, leaving the doors open to a possible exit this summer. A few words that have not made little grace to Florentino Perez. And the president, far from intervening, has sent a clear message there is no one essential. In other words, like, if you're not happy here, we'll fucking get rid of you. We don't care who you are. Now, in other words, it says here, and this is translated, but, If the Brazilian striker wants to leave the Santiago Bernabeu, they will not oppose his path, not stand in his way, and will negotiate the offers that arrive as long as they are an acceptable price range. And I think that was like 100 million, maybe, I'm not sure. The translation here: the performance of the 23-year-old crack has not been particularly good this campaign and cannot be considered to have met expectations. Right. Very negative streaks, several months without seeing goal. Now there's Mbappe, blah, blah, blah. 17 goals and 9 assists in 51 is an unimpressive figure. And some of the fans have asked for and names of the other players they'd rather see played ahead of him. So they're really sticking the knife in, okay? From Anfield, they don't lose detail of any novelty that comes about Rodrigo's future. And it's basically suggesting here that Arne Slot would see him as strengthening the Liverpool attack. In particular, if the outgoings of Mo Salah and Luis Diaz are confirmed. And it says here, who have shown their intention to pack their bags. So in other words, this publication believes that Mo Salah and Luis Diaz are making it known that they, could leave Liverpool, or they intend to. Luis Diaz, we know about the connection with Barcelona, remember. He wants to go there. There's no doubt about that. Whether he'll get it or not's a different thing. Mo Salah, we're not really sure. Maybe he'll sign a new Liverpool contract. Who knows what's going to happen with Mo? We could go over that. We'll be here all day. You know my thoughts on Mo Salah and his agent, etc. But Liverpool would have to pay more than 100 million euros. I think that is. Yes, Madrid will demand 100 million euros for Rodrigo. But basically this now goes into, but Liverpool have a plan, which will be to, including the operation, a player who has long been on Florentino Perez's agenda, and that is Trent Alexander-Arnold. And it says here, now this is where the entire reports came from yesterday, that Trent Alexander-Arnold wants to leave Liverpool. And it says here, this is what they say. Trent Alexander-Arnold, who also intends to leave Liverpool, and his contract ends in 12 months. So this, El Nacional said he intends to leave Liverpool, and that's where all those reports came from yesterday. And some of them didn't tell you where it came from, right? He has not accepted the renewal proposals he has received, and therefore he can leave this summer. Well, we don't know whether he's been offered anything. We're hearing rumours about things, like he has an offer on the table, or Liverpool haven't spoke to him yet. It depends what fucking publication you want to believe. But no one with any credibility has said anywhere that he's not listening to what the club are offering. And basically saying here, Liverpool don't want to lose him on a free. And if they could get Rodrigo, they would do a deal with that. So that is basically where all that shit came from yesterday, right? So I hope I've educated you a bit. But when I say educate, that sounds very patronising. I don't mean that. I mean, I hope I've helped you a bit with that. I think there's something else that we have to touch on to do with. Yeah, there will be another video about him as well, because there's something else I've seen today, and this is already 14 minutes long. And I just want to address that claim. So all the claims yesterday that he wants to leave Liverpool come from one publication in Catalonia that's affiliated to Barcelona that would love to shit stir for Real Madrid. And they're making claims that Diaz and Salah have already said that they intend to leave Liverpool, which I don't think is accurate. I don't think they've told Liverpool they want to leave. They could leave, but I don't think Liverpool that they've informed Liverpool they want to leave. And they're basically saying, they're the ones making the claim that Trent wants out because he's rejected a new deal from Liverpool, which I think we would know about these guys. Do you know what I mean? So in my opinion, you can dismiss that. So if you've seen any of them rumours yesterday, that's where it all came from. Now, what I will say to you is that, I always thought Trent was a one-club player, would be all his entire life, would go on to captain Liverpool, local boy and all that. But he has got an outstanding friendship with Bellingham. I always say Bellamy. Sometimes I want to go and say Bellamy. I have to think it. You see me pause. Bellingham, right? As if we can forget that name. they have an outstanding friendship, and the idea of playing together is obviously, you know, something that you can only do once in your career. If you're lucky, I mean, do you know what I mean? Like, so if they get that chance, I think there's a really strong chance that Trent would take it, to be honest with you. I really do think that. And people, the majority of the fans by default say, nah, he'd never go because he's a local. You know, like, that's my mentality, you know, that's what I've been like. But then you get the odd one or two fans that I know that are connected to the club or to the city or to people involved in those networks, and they're like, no, don't, because I've said that I think he'll stay, and they've gone, no, don't, it ain't as fucking cut and dried as you think. So out of all the contracts that need sorting out at Liverpool, that should be the one that's done first, to see what the intentions are. The longer it goes on, the more likely it is he will leave. That's the one message that's been filtered to me for weeks and weeks and months, right? So we really need to see some progress on that front soon, because the longer it goes on, Dunk, the more likely it is he will leave. Now, I'm not a Twitter ITK, guys. I have no idea what will happen, right? And maybe some of the people involved in this don't know what's going to happen yet. But we're going to see a lot of speculation, and just don't by default assume anything at the moment regarding any of the players that require their contracts extending at Liverpool. And we'll just wait and see what happens. Let me know if you'd be devastated if he left. You know, or are you just like, if he wants to go, fuck him. I'm like that, to be honest with you. We've got a message on my screen with any Liverpool player. When any Liverpool player says, I want to go, I'm like, well, fuck you, then go, fucking go. There's no better club than this. But that's just been like, you know, it depends. You know what I mean? If they conduct themselves professionally and they say, no, it's always been, you know, my career plan, I want to do this. I love Liverpool. I've enjoyed it here. You know, I'll speak to the club. We'll do it in a timely fashion and professional. I don't have a problem with that. It's when they start going off Philip Coutinho and all that shit, you know what I mean? Michael Owen and that. So, yeah, as long as they're respectful, I ain't got a problem with it. You know, there's not many that have gone on to do better, in my opinion. Do you know what I mean? I mean, look at Coutinho now. Anyway, so I'm going to leave you with that. Let me know your thoughts about Trent Alexander-Arnold. I hope I've explained to you where this all originated from yesterday. And in my opinion, that specific publication in this instance should be dismissed. That doesn't mean that anything they're saying in that article, you know, is all, doesn't mean that everything in that article is wrong. You know, Liverpool, I'm not saying Liverpool have got no interest in Rodrigo. I'm not saying that Diaz won't leave, you know, but I just think that the key part of the article is that Trent wants to leave. Maybe he will leave, but I don't believe that they know that. I don't believe that he's rejected anything at the moment. Could he reject something? Possibly, yeah. But we don't know, so we'll sit tight. But the main reason for the video was so many people were aware of this rumour yesterday, but they didn't know where it was coming from. And a lot of the publications were not naming where it was coming from, which can create confusion. So I hope I've helped you out a little bit there. If you appreciate this video, please thumbs up the video. Please drop me a comment. If you want to buy me a beer or a coffee, I'm going out tomorrow at Lash. Hit the super thanks button, please. And I'll give you a shout out in my morning briefing tomorrow. Please read the video description, chat room, Facebook group. More importantly, the newsletter, all right? Because I sent one out yesterday. What was that about yesterday? That was about a couple of targets. I don't want to define them as that. Just a couple of players that have been linked with us. That's what yesterday's was about, and what Liverpool were up to behind the scenes and shit like that. Do you know what I mean? So in the video description, look for it. It'll say newsletter or something. It'll say coptalk.beehive or something. I don't know. That's the platform. Cop Talk started as a mailing list in the 90s before it was a website. So, and there'll be a lot of stuff going out on there to complement the main site and of course this YouTube channel. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you thought. Did I explain it properly? And what do you think? Cheers.